Welcome back to the Lingua Loom. Today we're going to discuss another episode in Semantics series, episode number 2, which is lexical meaning. So every word you know is a key. Lexical semantic asks what door does it open, and how do we even know what it means? So it is one of the important topics of semantics. So let's first start with the foundation. What is lexical meaning? When you hear the word rose, something happens in your mind: an image, a feeling, a category. That is lexical meaning at work. Lexical meaning is the meaning stored in individual words. That is the mental content that the word activates the moment you encounter it. So, for example, when you hear the word rose, it means something red, or it is associated with feeling like love or liking. So it is like that. And in linguistics, the lexicon is the mental dictionary every speaker carries in their head. So it is not a list of words, it is a rich network of relationship, what words mean, how they connect to each other, what they imply, and what they rule out. Lexical semantics is the scientific study of that system. So now we're going to discuss lexical semantics. It is basically linked with our lexicon, that is mental dictionary, having a vast range of vocabulary in our mind. So why does it matter? Because words are the atom of meaning. Before we can understand how sentences carry meaning, how context shape interpretation, or how metaphors work, we must understand what individual words mean and how the meaning is structured. So lexicon, there's a huge amount of words stored in it, like take for example, let it is. So is are, and then going to walk, walked, walked, walking. These kind of all walked into, and there are lots of words in our lexicon. So first, to understand how meaning is interpreted in context, we first must understand the individual words meaning. So it is about that. Let's look at the academic definition as given by this, as shown in reference. Lexical meaning refers to the meaning associated with individual lexical items, words and morphemes in a language. It is the semantic content stored in the mental lexicon that speakers draw upon to interpret and produce language. So lexical meaning, easy to be saying, is stored in our mind in the shape of lexicon. So the words and morphemes are in it. We use them to shape sentences and structures. Moving forward, let's first look at this. Mental lexicon. Every speaker carries an internal dictionary in their brain, not on paper. It stores thousands of words with their meaning, pronunciation, and grammatical roles, all connected in a vast network. So this is the definition of mental lexicon. Then comes the semantic networks. Is a word are not stored in isolation. Roses connect to flower, red, love, tone. These connections shape how meaning works and how speakers understand language so rapidly. So this shows that how different words and the meanings are connected in our lexicon, depending on how we use in certain situations. Then structure analysis, lexical meaning can be broken down, compared, and mapped. Linguists use semantic features, componential analysis, and prototype theory to study this system rigorously. So this is about that how lexical meaning is broken down and how different feature and analysis is done in the system to interpret meaning. Then moving on to the second part, the building block, lexeme versus word form. So it is one of the most crucial concepts in semantics. Linguists make a crucial distinction between lexeme, the abstract unit of vocabulary, and its various word forms, the actual shapes it appears in. The lexeme is the concept, word forms are its grammatical appearances. Lexeme, right, is a single unit of meaning, but it surfaces as write, writes, wrote, written, writing. They all carry the same core meaning. They are one lexeme but have different forms. So this is basically that in your mind, lexeme is one. Its word form can be multiple, like this, right? So if we take play, play is one lexeme. Its different forms are plays, played, play, player, playing. So like this. So this shows that take different form depending on tense, number, and aspect. So this is right is a lexeme and its forms are right, which shows present tense, writes third person singular, then wrote shows past tense, written shows past participle, writing shows progressive aspect. All five forms share the same lexical meaning, one lexeme, many different word forms. Dictionaries list the lexeme, not every word form separately. Then comes to another part, word anatomy explorer. So click any lexeme to explore. It's lexeme like light. Let's scroll a bit more to clearly see it. So here it is, multiple grammatical categories, light. As an adjective, it's a light bag. As a noun, it's the light. Then verb, to light candle. Then adverb, travel light. So word form is light, lights, lit, litted, lighting. Rich polysemy, not heavy. Electromagnetic radiation. Then to ignite, pale in color, one lexeme, four grammatical lives. So this is all the word forms of the same lexeme, which is light. Let's look at run. So these are, as mentioned in previous video, that run has been documented in 600 different senses. Run, runs, ran, running. So managing a company is like running a company, then about scoring, a run in cricket, then flowing, tap running, and unraveling, a run in stockings. So here it is, verb very fast, noun, a cricket run, phrasal, run out, and a metaphor, run a business. So this shows the word forms of lexeme run. Let's look at the house. So a building for human habitation. Also function as a verb, like to house refugees. And her extended sense is a dynasty house of Windsor. Then as a legislative body, House of Commons, or a musical genre. is called genre. It says genre. House music. So the word from the house, houses, housed, housing. As a noun, it is a house. As a verb, it is housed them. Then extended ruling house. Another extending is lower house. So this shows the word forms of house. Then let's go to check it fast. So as an adjective or adverb is move quickly or firmly fixed, like a fast asleep or hold fast. As a verb or noun is to fast, that is abstain from food. So they're historically related through all English concept of firmness and speed. A perfect case study in polysemy versus homonymy debate. So let's check it. The word forms as an adjective fast car, as an adverb run fast, and as an adjective fast asleep. And the last one is verb to fast, that no food is allowed to eat. And the last one here as an example is break. So highly polysemous, verbal lexeme. Core sense is to separate into pieces, extended through a metaphor to break a record, break the law, break the news, break a code, take a break. So word forms are break, breaks, broke, broken, breaking. So classic semantic extension, core is break clause, metaphor is break a record, another metaphor is break the news, and as a noun is take a break. So these are the examples of lexeme and how their word forms create meaning in different situations. We can interpret different meaning according to their uses in different situations. So let's move forward to part 3, which is Leeds typology. Given in 1974, the types of lexical meaning. Not all meaning is same. Geoffrey Leach, in his landmark 1974 work Semantics, identified several distinct types of meaning a word can carry simultaneously. Understanding these types is essential to understand how language actually works. So let's look at each one. First one is conceptual denotative meaning, the core lexical meaning, the logical cognitive content that defines the word, what dictionaries primarily capture. Also called propositional meaning. The central type is snake, that is an animal, reptile, legless, scales. So these are the types of meaning that are associated with things, how we make the concept of them in our mind. Like for example, if we say chair, say how it would be made of wood or plastic, having 4 legs. That is the most traditional one, with 4 legs or 1 leg, that is in Sante. Then having a armed chair or armless chair. So these are the meanings that are or concepts associated with a word. Or another example is apple. It is fruit, red or green in color. So these are the concepts associated with the word. So this shows conceptual, which is denotative meaning. Then the second one is connotative meaning, emotional and cultural association a word carries beyond its core definition. They vary across speakers, communities, and time, can be positive or negative. So snake is treachery, dangerous, cunning, evil in many cultures. So this relates to the cultural meanings that are associated with words. Like red is the color or symbol of danger, but at the same time, if the situation is different, like on weddings, it is considered a symbol of fertility and newness and love, passion. Now let's look at the third one, that is social stylistic meaning, which is what a word reveals about the social context, register, or relationship between speakers. Word carries social signal about formality, religion, and identity. So the example are residence versus home versus golf. Same concept, very different social register. Residence is formal, whereas home is informal. It is emotional. So it's like that. The fourth one is affective, emotive meaning. This one is the emotional attitude the word expresses about its referent. The speaker's evaluative stance bakes directly into word's choice itself. For example, terrorist versus freedom fighter, same referent, opposite affective loading. Depending on the situation, a person can be terrorist for one community but can be a freedom fighter for another one. So it depends upon how one community or one person interprets them. Then let's look at collocational meaning. Meaning derived from what words typically appear alongside. Some words attract specific partners. Deviating from this creates odd or unusual effects. So it is how you associate meaning with something. For example, pretty collocates with girl, house, flower, and pretty car sounds unusual to native speakers, as pretty is mostly associated with girls, and a flower can be pretty, a dress can be pretty too. The sixth one is thematic meaning. Meaning communicated through a speaker organizes and orders information through emphasis, word order, and focus. Same preposition differently foregrounded. So example is the dog bit the man versus the man was bitten by the dog. Same facts, different thematic focus. We'll discuss thematic roles later. So here the agent is the dog and experiencer is the man. So these are given by Leach. We'll just look at them again, just names of them. First is conceptual meaning, then connotative meaning, social meaning, affective meaning, collocational meaning, and thematic meaning. These are the 6 given by Leach. Let's move to the part 4, which is componential analysis. So it is one of the most powerful approaches to study meaning, lexical meaning, as it is breaking a word's meaning into basic binary semantic feature. Plus symbolizes that the meaning is present, something matches the situation, and the negative says that something is not matchable with the situation, so it is considered out of that category. Think of it as a DNA of a word meaning developed by Goodenough, 1956, Lounsbury, same 1956, and formalized by Kurtz and Fodor in 1963. So let's look at how componential analysis is done, as it will help in understanding it better. So the first one is, these are the lexeme. man, woman, boy, girl, father, mother, brother, sister. So it is actually we decide a category and then do the analysis of the words to understand which one falls in which category. So here's some of the associated categories. That is, plus human mean if it is a human. The plus adult mean that it should be adult. Plus male mean that this should fall into the category of male, and plus parent mean it should be parents. Plus sibling means that it should be sibling. So these all are plus human. If there would have been an animal, then it would have been negative, which is minus sign. Then adult, man is adult, woman is adult. Here it shows negative for both boy and girl, while they're not adults, so it's negative for them. A father and mother, obviously adults, so it's adult for them. And brother and sister, plus and under it in minus, plus minus symbol. It shows it depends upon the sister, what is their age. So plus male, man is male, so it's plus for them. For women, it's a negative. For boy, it's a plus. For girl, it's a negative. For father, plus. For mother, negative. And again, for brother, is plus. And for sister, is negative. So here comes for the satisfaction of this plus parent category. Man, woman, boy, girl. Well, you don't know, as there is no mentioning of parents, so it is negative for them. For father and mother, well, her parent is being shown, so it's a plus for them. And brother and sister, it's a negative for them. Then comes the sibling. These are all negative as they don't show the ability of being siblings. And here brother and sister is being mentioned, which directly refers to being siblings, so it's plus for them. So that's how combinational analysis is done. So if you can change the categories, thus animate, which means living, inanimate, which means in living, you can write here chair, a horse. If you take an animal, then a flower can be any flower like a rose or daisy, then a man, and change categories here and do componential analysis and get your results in determining the how meaning is referred to different thing in different situations. So this one says the plus minus feature may or may not apply. So this is from where it is adapted. Cards and Photos, 1963 work, The Structure of Semantic Theory. Let's move forward. Componential analysis has significant limitations. It works best for structural domains, like kinship terms, and struggles with abstract words like justice, but as a tool for teaching semantic relations, it remains invaluable. So this is the study by Said in 2016, which shares the limitation of this word, showing that it is not that much reliable. Then moving forward, part 5. Meaning is never fixed. So lexical meaning is not rigid, unchanging label. Words do not carry one fixed meaning that you simply look up. Their meaning is shaped by grammatical category, context, and collocational environment. The word run documentary with over 600 sentences in OED, Oxford English Dictionary, proves this dramatically. Run a company, run a marathon, run the tape, run in stockings, run a score. So this is an example. She decided to run the company. Meaning is to manage or be in charge of. This is metaphorical extension from physical movement to abstract. Organizational control collocates with company, business, department, country. So semantic type is polysemy. This sense is historically connected to the core movement, meaning throughout the idea of keeping things moving or operating. So this shows that how meaning is interpreted in semantics and what semantic type does it carry. And let's look at part 6, which is almost the end. Knowledge check, that what we have studied, you can take it as a quiz. When you complete lecture, you can check out the answers, see, like testing yourself. So what is the lexicon in linguistic terms? A published dictionary of language, the mental vocabulary system stored in speaker's mind. A third option is a list of morphemes in the language. And the fourth is the grammatical rule of a language. Well, we have discussed this earlier, that it is in our mind. So this is the correct option. Let me scroll a bit. That's good. So this is the correct option. In linguistics, the lexicon is the cognitive mental vocabulary system, not a published dictionary. It is a rich network stored in speaker's brain. So let's look at the second one. That is, the forms run, runs, ran, running are all different word forms of the same morpheme, phoneme, lexeme, allophone. So we have discussed it earlier, it's lexeme. So a lexeme, here shows definition, is abstract unit of vocabulary. Run, ran, running are all surface word forms of the single lexeme run, one meaning many grammatical appearances. Moving on to the third one. According to Leach, which type of meaning refers to the core logical dictionary level content of a word? So here's a logical and dictionary level. Affective meaning, conceptual, denotative meaning, collocational, or social. So dictionary meaning, as I have told earlier, that we can take D and D as a trick to understand it. Let's move on to the next one. In componential analysis, what does the feature set adult male parent describe? So, a category, the option of brother, man, father, boy, you can check it on all. Boy, is it a parent? No. So it is automatically cut by checking just only one category. Then a brother, well, brother, not parents is mentioned, so it is obviously gonna cut. And even it. Then man, it still cuts because here is parent is mentioned that category. So father is the correct option, adult and male and parent. So this is it. So this shows that these features are unique to father. Man lacks parent, brother has sibling, boy lacks adult. So you can show by lacking that which is a correct answer. Next one is terrorist versus freedom fighter is a classic example of which type of lexical meaning differing between two words. Collocational meaning, thematic, affective, emotive meaning, social meaning. So it depends upon the situation. Oh, that got wrong. So they refer to the same thing, so denotation is identical. What differ is the speaker's emotional attitude, that is affective meaning. So this one is the correct one, affective meaning. as it is linked to emotions. Moving on to the next one. When a single lexeme like ran has multiple related meanings that developed over time, this is called when a single lexeme run has multiple related meanings. Homonymy, polysemy, synonymy, antonymy. While it can't be antonymy as it is different in meaning, then let's check out. So it is polysemy. Polysemy is when one lexeme develops multiple related meanings over time, runs hundreds of senses, all stem from the same core of movement or flow. Homonymy is when unrelated words accidentally share the same form. So in homonymy, a bank can come but not run. So this is a quiz. You can use it as an example to test. Then this is for today. We'll just discuss sentence versus reference in the next video. Let's move above. So this is what we have discussed with the lexical meaning, which is in your lexicon, that is mental dictionary. So this shows that everything is in your mind. We take all the information and concepts from there and use them. So this topic also shows that not every theory is forever. Some are falsified with time, like exponential analysis as rejected by Said. So this is it for today. I hope you understand. So do like, subscribe and share, as it means a lot. Please do comment too, as it has got something to do with YouTube algorithms. And thank you. Have a good day.